Hey Thinksters, and welcome to this short video where I want to show you the string replace method. So this is a very powerful method. So imagine you are working at Google. A few years ago the Google company renamed to Alphabet. Okay, so previously it was Google Inc., which is the company name, and now it is Alphabet. Okay, so all the documents changed, like in all annual reports and all internal documents, they had to change the name from Google Inc. to Alphabet. So how do you do this in Python? The answer is use the string replace method. Okay, it's like the syntax is the following. So you call it on the string data type. So on a given string which you want to change, basically on which we want to change, then you give the old substring of this string, and you give the replacement string called new. Okay, so this is the basic syntax of the string replace method, and there's also an optional third argument, which is the count method, and this shows the number of times we replace the strings old with the new the substring old with the new string in the new string. And if the count argument, so like we can have 10, for example, this means that we replace it 10 times. If it isn't specified, so per default we simply replace all occurrences of the old substring in the new substring. Okay, so let's have a practical example. Let's have an example, like say we have one internal document, hi Google, this is our string. Let's maybe store it in the string variable s. And now, as you know, strings are immutable, so you cannot really change a string. You cannot change a string, period. So you cannot change a string. The string just resides in memory, so the replace method doesn't change an existing object in memory, doesn't change this existing string object s, it creates a new string object and returns it. Okay, so you can call s.replace, then we replace old by new, so old is Google and new is Alphabet. Okay, so we have a new company name, so we replace Alphabet, and now you see our return value is a new string. But let's have a look at the original string. It's still hi Google, so it didn't change in memory. Why? Yeah, because strings are immutable. You cannot change strings. Strings are fixed, so therefore the replace method returns a new string. And now you can, for example, you could also assign it you could override the existing variable s, and now if you print s, it contains a new string hi Alphabet. Okay, so this way you can replace a string multiple times, one or multiple times. So so what happens if you have like the following, hi Google, Google. So now we have the term Google 2 times, and we want to replace it. Now I simply call it on the original string on which we want to replace it. We want to replace Google by Alphabet. Now let's see how often it is replaced. Okay, you see it's replaced as many times as you have the old string in your string. So even if you have it multiple times, like 4 times or 5 times, always you will replace all occurrences of the substring of the old string with a new substring. And so what if we want to restrict this? So for example, we have some tokens, we only want to replace the first, say, 2 occurrences of the original string. Now let's copy this. Let's get rid of my face, and now we can pass the third argument 2, and now we will only replace 2 occurrences of the string Google, and the later occurrences, they are just kept open. Okay, so this way you can also replace only the first occurrence by passing the integer value 1, for example. Okay, so that's already basically everything I wanted to say about this function. It's very easy. You don't need to import it. It works on the string data type itself. Okay, so there's no need to call the import function or anything. If you want to use regular expressions, this is also possible. Regular expressions you would use by importing the library re. And the advantage of regular expressions is that you can replace a pattern, not only a fixed string. So if you want to replace all, say, words that start with G-O-O-G, with gawk, and you want to replace all words that start with those, then you could use regular expressions. Okay, so another example is like we have a string python py, and we want to basically, we call the re.sub method from regular expression package. Now we need to define the pattern that we want to substitute or replace, Now let's call the pattern is Python or Py. Okay, so we want to basically replace all words in our original string s with the word Thingster, which is my online company, thingster.com, to learn Python. And invalid syntax. Okay, so I have one closing bracket too much. So now you see we create a new string, Thingster. It consists of all the original strings. Okay, that's kind of easy. If you want to, how can we replace a character at a certain index? Now this is also, you can do this. So say we have, we just take this as an input now for our new string. And now we can say we want to replace the character at position 3 in the string with another character. Now we can use slicing from default start index. Let's move this up from default start index to index 3 where we want to perform the replacement. Then we replace it with our replacement value, and now we can use slicing starting from the next position. So basically we have ignored position 3 in our new string. And okay, now this is yeah, so now basically we have like replaced, we have here finiter instead of Thingster, so we have replaced the first occurrence of the x in our original string. Okay, this way you can replace a certain character at a certain index. You can also remove the last character of a string simply by using slicing with end index -1. Okay, so this way we get rid of the last character of the string. This means that if you have negative indices as a stop index of the slicing operation, then you simply count from the right, basically from a string. So you count -1 as the last position in the string, and if you slice to the last position in the string, slicing is always, the end index is always excluded. So you don't slice all the way to the right to the end index. You slice one position before the end index you define in the slice operation. If you need some help with slicing, then check out my blog article. I will also give a link to slicing in the description below. And okay, there are many other like variants of this problem, how to replace a string, but I think with what I have taught you here in this video, it's already enough to conquer like 90% of use cases. Otherwise you can just Google the remaining. Okay, thanks for listening to this video. If you want to increase your skills by getting paid for learning Python, then you should consider working for Fiverr or Upwork as a freelancer. You can do this on the side as you are working in your full-time job, or you can do it full-time. You can gradually shift towards an online business. We have all seen how important it is that you have an opportunity to earn some side income. If like your employer gets bust or so, it's very important that you have multiple income streams. So if you want to earn money as a Python freelancer, do some coding work for other people, it's fun. You can choose your own projects, and you will learn a lot actually by doing this very practical code projects. Then check out my webinar, how to build your high income skill Python development. This is the title of the webinar. You can check it out. It's free. So see you in the webinar if you are interested in becoming a Python freelancer. Thanks for listening, and see you in the next video. Bye.